My name's Frank Leach, and I worked at Sutton Manor from 1967 for 19 years.
My name's Moran, and I was a blacksmith at Sutton Manor Colliery from 1977 to 1986.
In Dream, I got a phone call from Gary Conliffe that said that the people were talking about putting a piece of artwork up on the old, what we used to call slag tip, if you like. At first I thought he was joking, but he did say everybody was attending, like all my old friends, and I thought it'd be a great reason for get together again.
The same again, I got a phone call off Gary. He was trying to get a group of miners together to nominate this site for an art project with Channel 4, the big art project, and we all came down to the Smithy Manor, originally about 14 of us, didn't we?
Yeah,
we met up about
yeah.
14 of us. And
at Sutton Manor, it was more like a family, if you like. The people that you met, they were honest, hard-working people, and the main thing for me, they had a great sense of humour, and that you needed that footwork down a coal mine.
That was the biggest thing, the sense of humour, I think. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I would have said about 75% in 1967. You didn't just get like one person. It was families, literally families, you know, from Grandad all the way down.
Yeah. I think before 1970, it would have probably been virtually 100% of the village until they started building the new estates around the actual mining village, and then you got an influx of people from outside the village who worked for other people. But the village itself, I would say virtually 100%, wouldn't you, Frank?
It was a purpose-built village, as all mining communities were then. You know, like Sutton Manor, you've got down the road Clock Face, you know, and places like that. And the houses were owned by the coal board. You rented your home off your employer, if you like. You paid a rent every week, so it's taken out of your wage. But if you didn't pay your rent,
they threw you out.
They threw you out.
They did, yeah, they did throw you out. Or if you left your job, they threw you out.
Well, I think it was devastation. I mean, the place behind us where we just held the get-together, if you like, the Smithy Manor, I mean, that was the Miners' Institute. And again, out of your wages, if you worked at the pit, probably 5 pence a week was taken out to support your local mining club. Obviously, when the pit went, the club, Burton Wood, I think, bought it back off the people that had interest in it. And Tommy Smith bought it out. He used to play for Liverpool.
He bought this originally after from being a miner.
I mean, that club, you could go in there any time, couldn't you, Mel? And you could meet characters. I'll tell you, they were superb. But it was doing well. Again, I was talking to someone in there before. It's the first time I've been upstairs there for 30 odd years, and it's changed so much. And like we say, at weekend, if you weren't in that club, or the Labour Club, which was just down the road, at 7 o'clock at night, you didn't get a table, did you, man?
No, no. I mean, the Labour Club, you mentioned the Labour Club. The Labour Club closed down, I think, because the pit went. It was run by, even though we had our own Miners' Institute here, the Labour Club was run by pitmen, lads who worked at the pit. And there was on all the committees, the treasurers, the secretaries, presidents. And once all that went, and they all retired, and it went other ways then, didn't it, Frank? It went to other people, not mining people, and it just seemed to fall by the wayside, and eventually it got knocked down.
It did struggle, the Labour Club especially, and the sad thing is, they never changed their ways. I know it sounds, well, bad in some ways, but like Monday night was bingo night, Tuesday night was bingo night, you know.
No, Tuesday night it closed actually. Frank.
Oh, did it?
That was the only night of the week it didn't open.
But like I say, when the pit was when it was a working pit, I mean, every night, you know, it was worth opening the bar. Not like nowadays. I mean, you see so many pubs shutting now, and I know it's sad, but it was a big part of the local community. Yeah. As long as rugby teams, because St.Helens played rugby league, football teams quite good at football, and it was when the pit shut. It actually devastated Sutton Manor, I would say. Money's okay, you know, they got the redundancy in that, but it only lasts so long. You can't replace, like, the people that work there. An absolute pleasure.
He's a gentleman. He's a gentleman. He's always come across a really friendly person, hasn't he, Frank?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we've got to like him from the first instance of meeting him. He was a really nice gentleman, and when it came, his first sculpture he came up with, the miner's lamp, it was hard to decide how we was going to go about telling him, well, yeah, it's lovely, but we don't want that. We want something contemporary. We don't want something linked to mining. Because what we wanted was people driving down the motorway, say going to Liverpool to the Beatles museum, to look at it and think, what's that up there? If they'd have seen a miner's lamp or some mining monument, they'd have said, oh, that used to be an old pit. But because they've got the dream now, they might look, and if they've never read about it, they may pull off and they look at it. That's what we wanted, something like that.
I mean, I was amazed that we got on so well, and like Mel just mentioned, we did decline, the miner's lamp, because what we didn't want is, like I said, people, if you put a headgear up there, people going along the motorway, looking up and seeing a headgear, it explains itself. It was a pit that's shut down, and they just generally carry on driving. With this, they look up and think, now then, what's that? It's unusual. It is very unusual. And I think they'll, turn off the motorway, come up here and ask questions, hopefully. But he is an absolute gentleman. I've got to say about miners again, they know when a person in general is genuine and somebody who's trying to pull the wool over their eyes. And if that would have been the case, well, yeah, we'd have told him in no terms that he's not for us. But he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The chemistry.
There's a bonding, definitely a bonding from day one.
Well, I actually think it's better, and I've got to say, I think it was Evans Concrete who did the work, and I think the work that they've done on it, and I said it actually on a few occasions, I said to the managing director, I think they've done an absolutely brilliant job. Now I know, like people say about the grouting, where the pieces have all locked together and they've tried to grout them up, but that will weather within time, we've been told. But in general, I'm absolutely delighted with it. I think it's superb, and I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's just the way it is, but most people that I've spoken to do like it. So for me, it's done a great job, and it's not cost the taxpayer or anybody in St. Helens 1 penny. And that's my main concern, because otherwise I want to put my name to it.
Well, I think the only thing it's lacking now is the light. I mean, when he first did the design, we picked Jaume because his signature was lighting, and we always said from day one we want it lit. And the only disappointment up to now is, I know they put things in place so it can be done in the future, but hopefully we'll get planning permission for the beam of light to come out the crown of the head, because that will be the signature to the whole story, the finale to the story then. Our journey.
A lot of people still mention in our local papers about how disappointed they are with the lighting, and what they don't realise is, if you're walking up to it, up the steps, there's lighting in place. Like Mel said, all it needs is the go-ahead, and it's not from our local council, it's from the highways department to give the nod, and it will be lit, and it will be absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's not finished yet. It's got to be, I believe, it's got to be landscapes and things like that. So what you see today, I think, is lovely, but it'll be so much better
when it's completed.
When it's finally completed. Yeah. I'm more than happy with it. Yeah. I'm more than happy with it. And today, I mean, no matter what part we've, taken in this role, if you like, to see the youngsters, mums and dads, families. I mean, we hear about MPs, call them what you want, but we hear about them saying about communities. Today showed, if you've got something that people can focus on, that they will make an effort, and I think it's done a brilliant job.
And all I can say, it's a fantastic finale to a long journey we've done over the last 3 years, finding out about art, from being knowing nothing about art to what Laurie's taught us, to look at the whole perspective before you finally make your decision. And it's been a fantastic journey, it's a fantastic ending.